Right then, Millwall versus Luton Town. What are my thoughts on this game that's going to be happening tomorrow? Before I tell you, drop a like on today's video, comment below your score predictions and your thoughts, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. So, Luton, we need to do some work. We need to get 3 points quick and fast. The longer we go without getting 3 points, the worse the situation's going to get. And right now, it's starting to get a little bit toxic. You know when it's starting to get toxic when fans going at each other on social media. It's just happening throughout international break. Normally when international breaks is on, fans, you know, everyone's just quiet, but fans are going at each other on international break, and it's just like, oh my god, this is getting too much. So a win would probably change all that. It will bring positivity to the fan base, which will then hopefully transpire onto the football pitch, and then we can go on a lovely run of football and yeah, just win loads of games. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Whether or not that will happen, I don't know. I really don't know, but it's down to the players. So far this season, I don't think we've been terrible. Do I think we've been deserve to be where we currently are in the table? No, I do think the table is currently lying at the moment. I hate the saying the table doesn't lie. It does. 5 games into a bloody season, it does. At the end of the season, it doesn't, because it tells you the full story. But right now, does it tell you the full story? No. The table suggests that we have been quite poor, yeah. However, there's been things in our game that we are doing quite well, like creating opportunities. That's why I'm not too worried. If we're not creating opportunities, then I'd be very worried and I'd be like, what's going on? But because we are creating opportunities, I'm not too scared. However, that being said, Elijah Adebayo, Colton Morris, both need to start finding the net. As soon as they get a goal, they can get that confidence. Every striker just needs a goal, and then they can be on their way. That starts their season. For me, Luton's season starts now. We've got all of our players pretty much back from injury, so we should be fresh and ready to go. We played a behind closed door friendly during the international period. We signed Victor Moses, so we've added more quality to the squad. And yeah, everyone's available now, so we should really kick on. The question mark is, what type of formation is Edwards going to play? I feel like we should just go back to the same system and formation that got us promoted out of the Championship to the Premier League. It kind of looks clear to me that it should be that way. However, I might have a feeling that we're not going to do that. We may keep playing the system which we're currently playing, which means Morris will be playing out wide, which I'm not a fan of. I really feel like he should be a lot closer to Elijah Adebayo. I made a video on this last week about it, that them two need to be a lot closer, so both can have opportunities in front of goal, because Morris at the moment it's very limited with his opportunities he's getting. But that being said, we've got plenty of options now. So if our plan A isn't working on the pitch, we can change it to a plan B. Nakamba should be a lot more up to speed now. Tom Kraus, our German lad, should be up to speed now. Hopefully he's returned back from his injury. Obviously Victor Moses, I can't see him starting, but I can see him actually featuring and getting some minutes into his system. I think the only player that's not available was Brown. I think he's the one that's furthest behind, but he did have surgery and whatnot. There's obviously a plan in place for that. Defence side of things, we should be pretty much there. Everyone should be available. Mari Bell, McGuinness, Menji, that's your back three, with Doughty and Walters as the wing backs. I feel like the defence and goalkeeper picks itself. It's all, the question marks are midfield and strikers. Does Elijah or Morris get dropped? Or who's going to play in the middle? Is Nakamba going to come straight back in, or are we going to play a different system? So many questions that definitely need answered, and we'll only find that out an hour before kickoff when the team lineup gets announced. Pretty much. So yeah, that's how we're looking. In terms of Millwall, I feel like we're seeing a different type of Millwall since the start of the season. Very attacking compared to what they normally are. They're normally hard to beat, defensive minded team. Harris has done a very good job since returning back as Millwall manager. They're scoring goals, scored a few goals against Watford, Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday. They managed to get a win just before the international break, so for them international break probably came at the wrong time, whereas for us it came at a really good time. They've kept clean sheets already. And looking at the stats, Millwall could have actually scored more goals. They've actually created a lot of big opportunities, like what we do. We've created 11 big opportunities and only scored, well, and missed 10. Whereas Millwall have created, I think, over like 17 big chances that have scored, have missed 11, I mean. So if they get a better conversion rate at doing that, they could be a real problem and they can cause us plenty of problems. The one thing which we've had so far is we've played against teams, apart from the Burnley game, we've played against teams that have not really created many opportunities, and it's really been more us dictating the play. We're creating the opportunities, but we keep missing the big chances. I feel like Millwall at home, they're going to fancy themselves a little bit more. I feel like they will come at us a bit. I think they know that we're low on confidence, so they're going to give it their all and try and go for 3 points. I don't see them sitting back at home and allowing us to dictate play and letting us just try and create opportunities. I feel like they're gonna come at us. I feel like they've got confidence, especially on the back of a win against a good side in Sheffield Wednesday. And yeah, I think they can cause us real problems. You've got players like Honeyman in the number 10 role, who is very creative and on his day can cause us all sorts of problems. You've got Saville in the midfield. Cooper, defensive wise, is very good. They've got Watmore, the former Sunderland player, very quick, nippy attacker, who's got a bit of pace about him. And if he gets in between our back line, you know, I hope one of our defenders is watching him, because he's really once he's through, he'll cause us problems. So they're just a few players to pick out. But yeah, those can cause us plenty of problems if we don't show up. We've got to show up. I feel like Luton, as the fans, we're expecting a reaction. We're expecting some sort of response. We don't know how we're going to get it. We don't know when we're going to get it, but we're expecting something to happen now. And I feel like there's no more excuses now. We know what we know what the squad is. The transfer window is over. Technically, we can still sign more players like we have done, but this is our squad now. We know no one's leaving, so we need to really focus about trying to get points now. Next 5 games, I feel like we can get a couple wins, which will then kickstart our season, and then hopefully we can climb up that championship table. But it does start against Millwall, and what a way to start it, by winning against Millwall. That would be a really good win. I always feel like going to Millwall is always a tough place to go. Hostile atmosphere. Of course, the history between Millwall and Luton fans throughout the years, especially in the 80s, will create more of a atmosphere and tension in the air, which I really like, and it makes the game really like nail biting and like everyone's up for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully walk away with 3 points. My score prediction, honestly, I feel like if we can be clinical in front of goal, we'll win. If we're not clinical in front of goal, we'll lose. So I feel like it's either going to be 2-1 to Millwall, or it's going to be 2-1 to us. That's how I see the game going. But let me know your score predictions down below. And yeah, that's how I see this game planning out tomorrow. But yeah, let me know how you think the game's going to plan out. And yeah, I'll see you in my match reaction after the game against Millwall. And hopefully I'm a lot happier than I have been in previous weeks. And yeah, celebrating 3 points hopefully.